one final follow-up thought on Christian Zionism, and that is that Christian Zionism, the support of Genesis 15 prophecy, the support of the people of Israel occupying the entire Middle East, still being the plan of God, is based on Genesis 15 and has absolutely nothing to do with salvation from hell at all. You might say, why? Why would God want people to occupy, the Jewish people in particular, to occupy the Middle East at all? Why endanger their lives? Well, because it has to do with 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. It has to do with 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, particularly verses 1 to 4. And if you're a Catholic, you should believe in that. You should believe in that if you're a Catholic. Because Catholicism rejects pre-tribulation rapture. Catholicism has always rejected pre-trib rapture. It's this left behind concept that you can just be raptured out of nowhere. 2 Thessalonians 1 to 2 was taught by St. Hippolytus and St. Irenaeus as the proper grounding for the end time plan. 2 Thessalonians 2, 1 to 4 is my personal reason for believing that we should not only respect, protect, and cooperate with the people of Israel in God's salvation plan to be either absorbed into the Catholic Church or into evangelical Protestantism, take your pick, because I believe the body of Christ is on both sides of the fence there. That's about salvation from hell through the atonement of Christ. But geopolitically, when we're not talking about salvation, we're just talking about people with bodies and people living in geolocational places in the Middle East over there. I personally believe that 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, 1 to 4 has everything to do with that. Now, do I believe that the geography is clear enough to know what it's going to be like in the future? Absolutely not. That's the realm of science fiction. But one thing's for sure, Jerusalem is supposed to be, and it doesn't require a whole lot of esoteric interpretation to figure this out, that Jerusalem is supposed to be a place where the Jewish people are worshiping in a rebuilt temple a false Messiah in a state of spiritual blindness, who we will call the Antichrist. And he will call himself God in that spot. And so that's impossible if the Jewish people are not occupying that space. They have to, in order to fulfill what has been foreseen in 2 Thessalonians 1 to 2. I'm sorry, 2 Thessalonians 2, 1 to 4. And was officially taught by St. Irenaeus and St. Hippolytus, the official early church teaching on the Antichrist.